Hey, what's going on, guys? It's that big guy here again today, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite hero in Heroes of the Storm, and that is Stitches. So, today in this video we're going to be talking about his spells, a personal build that I like to use, and maybe you'll like to use too. It may be universal, but I don't know. And we're also going to be talking about tips and tricks later in the video, and then after I got a special announcement after the video for all my subscribers and everything. So, let's get to it. Okay, so here we're going to go through some of his spells real quick. First off, we got Hook. Pull the first enemy hit towards you, dealing 40 damage. Second, we got Slam. Deal damage damage enemies within an area. Deal 55 damage to enemies within the target area. Devour. Damage an enemy and restore health. Deal 300 damage to minions or 50 damage to heroes. Restores 20% of your maximum health. First off, we got our hero trait. When struck, emit a cloud that damages enemy. Biogas. When struck, emit a cloud. And we got the two heroic abilities, and you have to choose one of them. Putrid Bile. Emit bile that slows and damages enemies in your path. Emit a bile that damages 20 per second to enemies, slowing them by 35%, and you gain 20% movement speed while emitting the bile. Lasts 8 seconds. Gorge. This is my personal favorite. Imprison an enemy inside your stomach for a short period of time. Consume an enemy, trapping them for 3.5 seconds. When Gorge ends, the enemy hero takes 100 damage. The trapped hero can't move or act and doesn't take damage from any other sources. Stitch's movement speed is reduced by 15% while enemy is gorged. So these are some of the quick spells, just a quick list of the spells in case if you never played Stitches. So let's continue on to the build. Okay guys, so we've gone through the spells. Now let's go to the actual build. This is the build I personally use every time I play Stitches. And let's get to it. So I've increased this level to level 10 because no matter what game you're in, that's what level you're going to be at. So we got the health and everything that's basic when you get to this health or this level. So I like to do Slam. You infect them with biogas. Now this is where it depends on what we're doing. Okay, if it's like if we're playing against the computer, I always go with toxic gas, but since we're going to be going against players most of the time, I do the I use the permanent 2 health per second. I always go with Gorge, and we're going to go with Mega Slam. Then I was playing around with Hook, the different hooks, especially the long range one, which works fantastic. But I've always used this one because it slows them down, and for the final one, I always go with Gorge. Now, this is something I've used many times. And it also depends how you want to play. Now, this is more of a kind of a damage / harass, I would say. This is my first time ever doing like a build. So, this is what I personally use every single time I play Stitches, and it seems to work out fine for me. Now, I've gone online and looked at other builds and stuff, and there's many other builds, especially like for tanking. And that's something else I'm going to look after, because I'm really interested in just being able to not take any damage. So, that's the build. Very simple, easy. And you have to play with the build. You can't just change. You can change it, but that's how I like to build. This is what I use, and it seems to work out every single time. So now we're going to do some tips and tricks. Alright, first off, you have a big body. Try to use as much body blocking as possible. You can wedge other characters in, you can protect your other teammates by backing them up, and I've always tried to do as much as I can with his body because he's a big guy, he has big frame. So I'm going to stress this as much as possible. The Hook is your best spell. You can position running enemies from you to your teammates or to you. You can use your Gorge if you choose to use that, you know, position them in certain places. And if you have a good enough team that's been playing a lot, they will work with your skills and you will work with theirs. Now, like right here, you know, Illidan's gonna kill Raynor, but, you know, I try to hook him away from him, try to get him away from the other character. Now, not only is your hook a weapon, but it can also help you against someone else killing one of your other players. Now, this is one of my favorite personal moves, is when you use Gorge. See, he got way too close to the wall, so I just brung him into our base and I let the towers and the forts take care of him. Now, with Stitches, it's not a big damage output. He's classified as a warrior. He can take a lot of damage, but he can't really dish it out. And when you use Gorge, and from a running enemy, try to bring him back towards your base or towards your fellow teammates, because they will help you out always. You know, don't ever let him get out of your sights. You know, you bring him behind your guys and they're gonna see that his health is low. And always remember, use your hook. Your hook also not only brings the target to you, but it also does some damage. Now see, for this example, if that was a friendly Phoenix from Kel'Thas, you know, position him to where you can actually put the enemy that you've gorged into that, because it will, you know, he'll take the area damage. And right here, you know, I try to block as much as possible. You know, I try to get in front of my teammates so they don't take the full extent, because a lot of the assassins or the healers don't have as much HP as you do. And, you know, when one of the enemies, you know, splinters off, go after that one first. It's better to go after the lone sheep than the whole flock. And if you're in a battleground, player versus player, depending on who's on your team, that's how you're going to really spec. Now, most of the time, there's going to be some kind of support. So you really don't have to spec into healing yourself or, you know, defense, unless you want to be playing that way like a tank. There's lots of abilities that makes you a perfect tank. You know, you can block incoming attacks, less hero damage. And another trick that I always like to do, especially in the beginning of the game, is, you know, if the enemy's right near your gate and he's pushing, or he's new, or he doesn't know anything about the class that you're playing, try to hook him near the tower, because the tower will eat him up, especially at lower levels. Or try to bring him, whenever into the game, try to bring him as close as possible to the towers with your hook. Your hook is your best friend. I'm going to be repeating myself throughout the rest of this video. You know, like Illidan right here, he was trying to run away, and it's like, no, you're not going anywhere. Either I killed him or Kel'Thas's dot killed him, his bomb. But the hook would have done the same amount of damage. And you can really hook through walls most of the time. It depends on the situation. Like if you were trying to hook, you know, where a fort was, the hook's gonna hit the fort. It's not gonna hit the, you know, like most of the walls you see here, or like the gates, they're not gonna go through that. So guys, that's the end of this video. Now the big surprise that I had for you guys is tomorrow or the next day I will be doing a contest / giveaway. Maybe I will be giving away 2 Heroes of the Storm starter packs for the celebration of Heroes of the Storm, which will be coming out June 2nd. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, but tomorrow stay tuned for a video and I'll have the details and all that good stuff, and I will be giving away 2, and they have a bunch of heroes, a mount, a skin. I will put the link in the description below for the video. So guys, as always, you stay classy. Hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and a big old like and subscribe. And as always guys, you stay classy.
Hell hath no fury like a woman swarmed. Be quiet. I'm brooding.
This codpiece gives me tender loins. You want a piece of me, boy? You want a piece of meat, boy? Well, good. I've got flank, shank, ribeye, brisket, take your pick.